Okay, so let's go to 56. I hope you tried it. If you tried it, way to go. You're well ahead of most, okay? So at a fundraiser, we usually charge $5 for a plate of pierogies. They've observed that at this price, they're able to sell 110 plates. For every 50-cent increase, 8 fewer plates are sold. Okay, so we know that we sell, look at how I flipped this, right? 110 plates, so I have my plates here, number of items. So you can say, you can call this your items column. This is the dollar per item column, so it's okay to flip these. This would be $5. And so the profit would be 110 times 5. So this is almost a no-brainer, right? If you figure this out, you just multiply them. So if there's a 50-cent increase to the price, right, we increase that by 50 cents, so this would be $5.50. But something happens to the plates being sold. 8 fewer are being sold, so minus 8. So this should be 102. Okay. And then you continue that one more time. Add 50 cents to the price, you're now at $6 per plate. You lose another 8 plates, you'll sell 8 fewer plates. That is 104. Okay? Sorry. I know. It's Friday. Give me a break. 94. 90, right? It's supposed to go down. This is supposed to go up. You don't have to show me this step right here. Just fill in the table if I ever ask you for it. So it's 102 times 550. 94 times 6. And fill in that table. I'll show you something that you can use if you want to. You know this is going to go into L2, correct? So if you want, you can go stat edit. I'm going to clear whatever's in there. And you can actually enter 110 times 5. You can actually multiply into that cell, and it will give you the answer already. Here's something you need to watch out, though. This cell will show a rounded answer. So let's say this is supposed to be 552.5. It will just show you 553. Like it will round. So when you hover over it, you look at the number down here, and that's what you're supposed to write down. So it shows a rounded answer, but the actual number that's in that cell will appear here on the screen. That's the only thing you need to watch out for. For me not to have any issues, I'm just going to go old school here. Okay, 561, 94 times 6, 564. Okay, I'm just going to fill it in like that. Determine the quadratic equation relating the price and the profit. So we want to have an equation that shows us the profit in terms of the price. That's another way of saying, as a function of the price. So this is showing your work, by the way. I would go up here and just make this your L1. This is L2 always, okay? And then you just show me the keystrokes. And I'm getting you ready for next year, because next year, this will not always be quad reg. This will be linear regression, cubic regression, different types of regression. So you need to get ready for that. Let's come up with our equation, shall we? Stat, edit. I make sure the price goes in, right? And then this is 550, 561, 564. You don't have to do any graphing yet if you don't want to. You go stat, calculate, quadratic regression. Let's feed it all the inputs that it needs to. I will tell you this, guys, okay? The more you know, the more I can tell you, so that if all you wanted as an equation, to be honest, that would have been it, quad reg. If all you want is the equation, you don't have to do all of this. But if you want this equation to be pasted into y1, you need to do this. And most of the time we will need it. That's why I just go for it. Okay, you hit enter. Negative 16x squared plus 190x. That is my equation. Let's type this, let's graph this now. Okay. So I told you if you use L1 and L2, that plot 1 has to be turned on. I'm going to erase whatever is in here. You may now use zoom and zoom stat. It works great for the story mode. It doesn't work very well for this, to be honest, but at least you will find the graph. So there's some of it. This is Friday, okay? Mikhail, make sure you pay attention to this. The first thing I want you to do, I want you to go window, x min, -5, y min, -5. Just do it. Something negative in there. Try it again. Okay, so now you see the y-axis and the x-axis. And then you chase the curve. You want to do what? You want to go window, x max. I'm going to go, double would be 12, so I'll go 15. Hit graph. That is a pretty good graph. Right? I mean, it could be argued that you should probably go higher on the top, so I will do that. Window, y max, I'm going to go even 600 there. Try it one more time. There we go. That's a pretty good graph. If you want to look at my window parameters, I have -5, -5 for my minimums. I have 15 for x max, 600 for y max. There we go. That's a pretty good graph. What price will yield the maximum profit? You need to find the max. Let's come up with a coordinate just in case we would ever need to graph it. Second, trace maximum. You go to the left. I showed you the trick, like, you know that this cursor could sometimes be off your screen, right? Like if it's not on your screen, you gotta look at these values as you go left or right. If I go right, I see my y value coming up from the negatives. So you just keep doing that until you start seeing it. Enter. Enter. 5.94, 564.06. Now I know what you're saying. You're like, wait a minute, this is like almost the same answer as here. That is just coincidence. I want you to have the exact number, okay? So the maximum profit is this, 564.06, okay? So make sure you make a statement like that with a $sign to get full marks. How many plates are you expected to sell at the price in C? This equation right here is only comparing the price and the profit, no plates in this mix. So you want to use this formula. Plates is going to be profit divided by the price per plate. So in this case would be plates would be 564.06 divided by 594. And we're talking plates, this should be a round number. I divide them, I get 94.9595 and so forth. So approximately 94 or 95 plates. Like if it's in between, you want to round to a whole number. Either say 94 or 95, or you can state it like this if you want to. what price or prices will give a profit of $500? They're saying, what is the price per plate when your profit is 500? In that case, you want to let y2 equal to 500. I want to do that. I go to y equals. I let y2 equal 500. And you can tell that it happens twice. There's a low price and a high price that you can charge to achieve the same outcome. Enter, enter, enter. So it's $3.94. I'll just remember that. Or $7.94. $3.94 or $7.94 per plate. So you've got two options there. If you want a diagram, right? $3.94 would be right about there. $7.94 would be right about there. Okay. And you can probably tell that I'm not graphing these ones. You don't have to worry about graphing these ones. And the reason being is if you make a mistake with your points upstream, it's a nightmare marking this, right? Like if you make a mistake. So graphing is usually going to be, I give you the equation, or I give you a bunch of points already. You just use those to graph, okay? So that's why I'm skipping it. If you're wondering why, if you still want to try it, go for it. The key has that all in it. I think I'm done here. I just want to show you one more thing, okay? If you were supposed to come up with the equation comparing the plates and profit, you would have to obviously put plates into L1, profit into L2. What would that equation look like? Here's a quick way to do that. Stat, edit, don't change your profit. All you have to change is you have to put the plates into L1, 110, 12, 94. You go to your home screen, you run it again, run quadratic regression again, and here it is. Every single point on this parabola will compare what? It will give you the plates that you would have sold and the profit. Okay? That's what this parabola would have given you every time. Okay? So just be aware that it is possible that I ask for this one as opposed to this one. So you have to just read very carefully what does the question say. Okay? By the way, the profit, the maximum profit that we got, the 564, will be the same here. You will get 564.06 as well. Let's graph this one. Wait a minute, it's completely different. It looks different, Mr. Erickson. Yes, because you have a totally different equation. So I'm going to just change my window real quick. I'm going to go X max to, let's say, 200. There we go. I changed my X max to 200. I see my parabola again. If I were to find the maximum, I know I'm going to blow your mind with this one. You won't see it coming. Ready? 564.06, still the maximum profit. How many plates have I sold? 95. How many plates did we calculate that we would have sold? 94 or 95, so we're very close. We have to round here, right? So there's parallel things happening here. Okay, two different, you can approach it in two different ways. You just have to read carefully. Okay, if you want to try these ones, I will just say try page 58 and 60. sorry, 57 and 58. Page 60 has just a regular word problem for you there.